Hi, Aries, and welcome to my channel, The Guided Intuitive, and thanks for being here. We're going to do something different here. We're going to do your life purpose, and I was thinking that a lot of us are kind of going through some sifting and sorting in our careers and in kind of how we see ourselves long term and in how we want to leave our legacy. And I thought, well, this is a perfect time for us to be able to go through your life purpose and maybe talk a little bit about what it is that you are good at or you're passionate about, and of course, what it is you're good at, and combine them both and take a look at what that is. So let's jump into this. This is going to be a general read. If you're looking for a personal read that taps into your personal energies, go to theguidedintuitive.com up here or in my description box below. Do be sure to check your midhaven sign in the life purpose videos as well, because that pertains to your career, your aspirations. It's a tipping point and it's the perfect place to start. At least from my perspective. Of course, you do have to take your overall birth chart into consideration, but this really tells about your career and aspirations there, and that's again a good starting point. So if you're unsure of where to find your midhaven, which is the abbreviation of MC, then you need to go down to my description box below, plug in your data in terms of finding your sign. And as it'll pop out your sun, moon, rising, Venus, and also your midhaven point. And you want to look at what sign, astrological sign that corresponds to your midhaven. And then you want to check out that life purpose video as it pertains to that sign, because it might resonate with you more. So let me know in your comments below. All right. So let's jump into this. And now I do want to let you know too, is that for those of you that are wanting to take it a step further from your life purpose, you definitely want to book a discovery session up here or in my description box below. It's some one-on-one time and allows us a few minutes to get to know each other and then make a recommendation if we're a good fit as to what program might be best for you. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this. This will be a timeless read because this is dealing strictly with your life purpose and your energies, and I'm kind of focusing in on your wealth code, what brings you wealth from your body, mind, and soul, as well as the material plane, but the spiritual plane too. Okay. All right. So let's jump into this. So I want to find out right now. Let's talk about what it is that you're passionate about. Okay. What is it that you are passionate about, Aries? All right. Let's take a look at what that is. Okay. Nice. Okay. So we get the honorable warrior. And this talks to me about a woman who's, and it could be a woman, male or female, doesn't matter, but this is someone being very transparent, standing by their truth, right? And really wanting to stake a claim in terms of standing up for something that they believe in, okay? And this could be you, it could be in terms of health, it could be in terms of the environment, it could be giving a voice to those who do not have a voice, like our animals and maybe perhaps plant kingdom and that type of thing. But what this really talks about here is being outspoken and taking a stand, because the honorable warrior does sometimes have to be outspoken. So I do see this for you. It's kind of that fire energy, right, that you have. And this is using it. This is about using that passionate energy for the greater good on what you truly, truly believe in. So that's what I get here. And it tells me it's about, you're taking a stand here for positive change, and that's going to be very, very key for you. Okay. And that's what seems to want to come through here. It's kind of like that lightning bolt that she carries with her. And she's saying, okay, I'm going to ignite this cause because I believe in this cause, and I stand by, and it's something that is, part of my truth as well. So that's what I see here. Now, the important thing to actually keep in mind, one thing you want to keep in mind too, is that with the honorable warrior, she is not, yes, for positive change, but know that if you get into self, neglecting or any sort of kind of I don't know. Our fire energy sometimes can be volatile, and I can say that too. I mean, my Aries is in my Mercury, but it's interesting because this talks about being very loyal, disciplined, heroic, and decisive, and using that fire energy in such a positive way that it creates this amazing. How do I want to say this excellence? It creates this excellence, personal excellence in terms of a change in this world, right? And it's really having those courageous acts and doing that people stand by you. So it's very heroic type energy. So I love it. I love it here. So I think that's really, really cool. That's one of the things to kind of keep in mind. I also think too is that you have this. It's kind of like it's a strong, brave, passionate, hardworking that's guided by a higher power. So the power is actually higher than you. This is about having some sort of spiritual insight as well. It could be in, standing up for spiritual consciousness and uplifting spiritual consciousness. And in what we do, in some ways, you know, whatever shape that looks like with you, whatever form that takes. But that's what I really feel. So organization, your own business, you know, a cause of some sort that is very, very key. Some of your very, very beautiful gifts that you have from this, again, are that leadership ability, right? And having that ambition, courage, strength, and that darn willpower. It's just amazing. Okay. So it's beautiful. And that's what I see coming through here. Okay. You don't want to get to where you rescue anyone because that's in your lower level energies. Again, it's really, really bringing you back to your soul's desire, which is to provide, you know, and pursue professional excellence, or should I say, personal excellence. In terms of courageous acts for those who don't have a voice, or those that something that really stands by your truth. So that's what I get in terms of the honorable warrior. What I want to find out for you though is I want to find out what it is that you're good at. Okay, so that's what you're passionate about. You know, with that fire energy, I'm not surprised. I love it. Okay, let's take a look at what this looks like in terms of what it is that you are good at. Here it is. Oh, nice. This is about bringing awareness, the light of awareness to others, turning on the light for others, okay? When they might not be able to grasp something, you are actually showing them the light. And it really flocks people to you because you've got this light, you've got the birds that are coming towards her, and it's very, very beautiful. And she's meditating, so it's almost like she's seeing the light in her, and therefore others are able to flock to her, and that's exactly what I see here. So it's very perceptive energy. It's very progressive energy as well too. Very intelligent. Okay, so the talent that you have is to be that messenger of light. Someone that is very instinctive, very insightful, but at the same time very imaginative and very creative. Okay, this is beautiful, and that's what your one of your greatest talents is, and this is what you're really, really good at, and it brings a lot of power, you know, to you, but also really benefits and helps others flourish because you're turning on the light bulb for them, you know, and they didn't see things in one way, so you kind of show them a different light, and then they're like, oh yeah, you know, never even thought of it that way, you know. So that's what you do. You turn on the light for them. Okay, and that's what is now think about what people say that you're really good at. Now it's got to be those people that are very supportive and have your back and really honestly, you know, really have your best interests at heart. Those are the people that you want to ask and see how that resonates. It's always fun to kind of test that out, but yeah, it's really being that messenger of light that and you have that light in you. So I think that that's one of the things that is so you know, quite beautiful in the process. So yeah, that's exactly what I get here. So very, very beautiful. Now keep in mind too is that you might be on the lower level energies. You might be on the lower level energies if you find yourself going into something, getting a little selfish, or maybe uh, kind of a little bit confused, or you get a little fickle. Okay, that's when your lower level energies, and then again, it's a reminder to get into your soul inspired truth, which really is about being the interpreter of the divine mind, which really again is providing new perspective and a higher level of being. Okay, and it's beautiful, beautiful. So you got the honorable warrior, and you've got that messenger that, you know, is the light and of the divine. And let's see how we can bring those both together and what that looks like. Okay, let's see what that looks like for you, Aries. Let's see. Okay, here it is. What is it? You got it? Oh, nice. Now, some of you might be teachers, okay? I'm just saying, you might be a teacher of some sort. You might be a leader of some sort. This is the sage. So this is a wise teacher that's got perception, right? And is very, very grounded and passionate in what they do. Very, very wise. Okay, and it's in standing by their truth, right? That real transparency of truth with the snow owl. But yeah, that's what I see here. So it's kind of like the truth will set you free, and the owls are very free and they fly, right? And they're very, very wise. And this is about being that sage, okay? That sage, that teacher, that wise person for others. And that's why I'm not surprised that you are this warrior of truth, right? And then you're a messenger of light. And then you bring it together in terms of being some sort of teacher, a counselor of some sort for many of you. Note your comments below, but that's exactly what I see here. It's a really beautiful, beautiful type of energy to have. Yeah, just gorgeous. And it just, you know that you're in your highest, well, you know, you're in your lower level energies. Just, you know, your highest is, I'll get to that in a second because we covered a little bit of that already. But when you're in your lower level energies, that is about being like a know-it-all, right? And that's when you know you can kind of check in with yourself a little bit and say, okay, hey, this is where I'm at, right? You're an overwhelm, right? Or you become very righteous. Okay, that is a lower level energy. And so what this wants to remind you of is, remember, you're that channel for truth. You're that channel for freedom for others. And to remind yourself of that, right? And it's about understanding life in the world, and with your wisdom, with your knowledge, and you couple that with that spirituality, you know, in the light here. I mean, it's amazing things that you could do. It could be your own business, could be your own channel, could be, you know, your own organization that you want to create, you know, whatever that is. Let's take a look at, what you, how to make this happen. So how do we bring that sage into play, that teacher? What's important? Like, how do you make this happen? To be that teacher, this is about connecting others, okay? This is to remember that we are all one. So to be that teacher is to be creative, but also artistic, you know, and intuitive in the process. And it has to be something that you love. It leads to your inspired truth, okay? It has to be something that we are all one, that again uplifts humanity. And what a perfect time to do this right now, guys. And this is one of the reasons why I felt so inclined to do this, because all of us have so many different talents, and sometimes we don't realize what they are until we have a guidepost of some sort. Maybe I was that for you, or I am that for you, by being on my channel. But it's a guidepost that gets your wheels turning and thinking, okay, gosh, you know what, I've always been told this, and I need to look more into this, and I've always wanted to do this, and this is just even more of a confirmation that I need to do more research on this, or to, you know, go into this particular area. But this is about being a connector, and this is what it's ruled by Venus, which means it's what you love doing. It has to do with that love, and you love connecting with people, right? It's very creative. It is courageous. It's heart centered. So whatever it is that you do, that you actually teach in, it's got to be heart centered. It could be something spiritual, something, you know, that you believe in, some sort of light worker in some way. Okay, so that's what I see here. And what's beautiful again is, we're all one, and so we are, aren't we? We certainly are. And this really, you are a really important part of that really helps bring this together. Okay. So, and one of your high level gifts in this too is being that, you know, kind of like that, as a connector, it's just really being kind of that person that really loves people and loves others, and just loves to, you know, connect with others. And you're really good at connecting with people, very conversational. People can really relate to you, I think is very, very key as well. Yeah, so I mean, that's exactly what I see here. So very interesting. Now just keep in mind, I'm trying to think of anything else that, you know, in terms of this, but I think it's just something you've got to be very, very passionate for. Okay. Don't get into, you know, people pleasing type qualities, because that's not going to be in your highest level. And because, you know, when you feel insecure or people pleasing, or become like kind of self-negating, you know, in any sort of way, it keeps you from the people the outcomes and those positive outcomes that you need to make. Okay. And so that's really, really key. So stimulating, you're a stimulating force of humanity is really what this is. Really, really is what it is. And it's all about, bringing the world and connecting the world, bringing all of us together. Okay. So very beautiful, guys. Let's go ahead and take a look at the final card in terms of your advice for your path. What is the advice for your path? Okay. Your life purpose. What does that look like for Aries? What does that look like? Yeah, the teacher and the sage and the leader, right? I should say, well, a teacher being the sage here, but and the leader itself. So I think they go really much hand in hand. And this is, again, leading, but not from power, but from empowerment and empowering others. So you're leading from the heart center, okay? And it excites others who want to also follow the flock. It wants to follow, you want to fly in your vicinity, right? And so this is really beautiful. So yeah, this is talking about being the leader that is the light, right? And the messenger was all about the light as well. This card's ruled by the sun, okay? And so that is just saying that the sun is shining brightly on this. So a leader in some way, okay? So whether it's your own company, whether it is in an organization that you believe in, whether it is teaching others in a class, counseling others, very much so. You were born to do this, a leader in some way. And note your comments below. I'd like to know what you are doing now and how this resonated or how this might resonate now or how this resonates in what you want to do. So do definitely note that because I think it's really, really beautiful. So yeah, I'd love to kind of hear where you're at. But this is really beautiful. It's got that beautiful energy and, again, leads with the sun. And it just shows me here that right now that it's you lead from the heart, and it's you live in the present, but you create an ideal future from what you have learned, and from the past that you have learned in order to move forward. Very nice. You know that you get into the lower level energies if it gets a little narcissistic, if it gets a little, what's the word that I'm thinking of here? Arrogant, okay? And a little addicted to power. That's when you find that you're in your lower level energies. So that's a time for you to kind of like, okay, what's my soul's desire again? What am I here to do? You're here to lead others because others are watching you, okay? And that is so key. So this is about being the person that has learned from the past and is able to create an ideal future. And again, it's for the greater good of all, okay? And that is it. It's so beautiful, guys. Wow. It's about having a very strong presence and really be flowing in that big vision and having that big vision, but also having the authenticity behind it, which is really, really key. Okay. So I think that's one thing to definitely remember. Okay. So I hope that this resonated with some of you. Please note your comments below, and thank you so much for being here. And if you like this video, again, you can check out my monthlies as well as my bi-weeklies. And until next time, namaste.